Hi everybody, and welcome back to my video. My name is Carolyn and I'm the Flosstube Stitcher. Today is Monday the 30th of December and I thought today would be a great time to discuss, or not to discuss, but to show you my 2024 finish parade, which I think is the first one I have ever done, I think, and also show you my 2025 plans, which are absolutely out of control crazy. So I have a lot to show you. So grab a coffee, sit down, enjoy your stitching because I'm going to take you on a journey. There's a lot to show. 2024, I had 28 new starts for the year. 11 of those were part of one project. I did class them all as separate new starts because a lot of people did stitch them as individual projects and each one was released individually. So taking off those 11, I had 17 different new starts. I also had 24 finishes and 11 of those were part of the previous project I just mentioned. So if you don't include those, 13 individual finishes and 9 FFOs. So that was probably my biggest year ever, I would think. I'd have to look back, but I'm pretty sure that's the biggest year I've ever had. So anyway, let's get on to it. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. So for my 11 new starts and my 11 finishes, which I completed in one project, I give you Shannon Christine Designs Christmas Mug Club. This is stitched on 32 count opalescent Belfast linen, 2/2 using DMC. So the deer, which was the first design, was actually stitched in 2023, which is why you're going, there's 12 on there. Why did you say 11? That was stitched in 2023, so it's not part of my finishes for 2024. So we'll go through each one. First we have Santa, finished on the 10th of January, 7 days, total of 2,878 stitches. Then we have Penguin, sorry, you can see that, yes, Penguin, finished on 5th of February, 4 days, 2,789 stitches. Next was Tree, finished on 9th of March 2024, 6 days, 2,778 stitches. Gingerbread Man, finished on 11th of April, 8 days, 2,778 stitches. Snow Lady, I can't see that I've got it in there. Okay. Snow Lady, 8th of May, 6 days, 2,833 stitches. Nutcracker, 8th of June, 4 days, 2,811 stitches. Snowman, 11th of July, 7 days, 2,857 stitches. Gingerbread House, finished 5th of August, 4 days, 2,888 stitches. And last line, Mrs. Claus, my favourite, she's so cute. Mrs. Claus, 8th of September, 5 days, 2,889 stitches. Gingerbread Lady, 5th of October, 4 days, 2,811 stitches. And Elf, 10th of November, 6 days, 2,967 stitches. And that was obviously 10th of November was when the entire design was finished. So all up, that's 31,279 stitches for the year. And that is not including the deer that was done in 2023. And it's also not including all the borders, which I didn't bother to add up. So, you know, that's a lot. 31,279 stitches in one project. That's almost a small full coverage, but it's so cute. I love it, and my arms are hurting holding that up, so I'm going to put it down. Yes, it's just gorgeous. I love it. I will not be, I said in my, I'm not sure if how many of you are going to watch both these videos, but I just said in my previous video that I will not be joining in Shannon's Christmas stitch along in 2025. When I saw the initial design, I liked it. It was gingerbread houses, but they all looked a bit similar to me, and a lot of people had the same thought, and Shannon did change it, and it looks much better now. But I had already decided that I wanted to stitch individual projects instead of committing with this, and with my previous year's Shannon Christine Designs stitch along. I allocated a week of every month to get this done so I could stay on track. And in that time, I could be doing other things. So I've done that solid for 2 years, and it was time. When I saw the design, I didn't love it. I liked it. I didn't love it. And I was like, right, no, it's time to do something else. So give myself a break from having to focus on one thing for a week, because when you see a bit later on in the video, when I show my next year's plans, I will no longer be stitching on a project for an entire week. So I factored that in as well. All right, so that's 1 to 11 finishes. And I didn't write which finish, I didn't write on my bit of paper, but yeah, they all had their allocated finish number. Now, this is probably my favorite. Well, no, I don't know, that was my favorite too. I've got lots of favorites. Do we have to have one favorite? No. This is my finish number 3 for 2024. And this is Mermaids. Oh, it's big. Of the deep blue. Excuse my rolling fold lines there. Wow. This is by Mirabilia, and I finished this on the 11th of February 2024. This is stitched on 28 count Night Sky Opalescent Lugana by Pole Stitches. I love the gradient in this. This was not cheap. Pole Stitches is in the UK, so obviously the conversion rate as well. But I'm so impressed. It was definitely worth the cost. They look like they're coming out of the deep blue, as the title suggests, coming into the brighter blue water, and I just love it. Now, this is a partial conversion. I saw this conversion on the Mirabilia Facebook group. It's Mirabilia Conversions group or something, by a lovely lady who shared it called Michaela Schumann, and I want to give her credit. I chose to stitch the bodies of the mermaids in the colour that she converted to, so the teal and the pink, because the original was just green, and I'm not a green lover. I do love teal. I'm not really a green lover. But when I saw the teal and the pink, yeah, I'm doing that. Everything else is the same. So the hair colour is as charted, the skin colour, everything else is the same. Just the bodies of the mermaids that I changed. So I started this on the 16th of October, 2024, and finished 11th of February, as I said. So a total of 40 days of stitching. And that includes all the beading. And there's a ton of beading in this. And I love it. I can't wait to get this framed. I'm just putting it off because it's going to be so expensive. Look at those beads sparkle. Yep. Love it. And just getting it out again and seeing it again just makes me so happy. This is only my second Mirabilia that I have finished. So Mermaid of Atlantis Is it the only one I've done? I think so. My memory's not as it used to be. I tell you, getting old sucks. Okay, my finish number 4 I do not have with me, so I'm going to put up a picture here for you. This is my grandson August's birth announcement, and this design was by Hoop Modern Stitch on Etsy. I started this on the 2nd of February 2024 and finished it the day after he was born. So finished it on the 17th of February 2024. Total of 8 days. My daughter chose this design, and it's exactly the same design as I did for his sister Hazel. I gave her a selection of baby designs that I liked on Etsy, and obviously I would have chosen more colourful, like baby animals, like really cutesy ones, but my daughter's very modern in her decor and she wanted something simplistic, and she loves the colour sage, and this is what she chose. And I knew if I chose something else it wouldn't have been put on show. So more important to me that she loved what I did, and that I knew every time I went to her house I would see it. So I did what she wanted. So it's still lovely. It's still lovely. It just wouldn't have been my first choice, I guess, is what I'm saying. So I stitched this on 18 count white Aida, and it was my fully finished object number 1 for 2024. So very, very happy with that design, and yeah, it was really, really quick stitch. 8 days. It's just nothing. Yeah, really simple. All right, next one is, now this one had been a whip for a long time. This one has a bit of meaning. So this is Simply Scissors. Oh, look at all the folds. I do roll things, but I guess my drawer's getting a bit full and they're squashing into each other, and that's okay. Quick press with the iron can fix it. This is called Simply Scissors. Let's show you the full thing. Simply Scissors by Joe Critchley, and this came from the World of Cross Stitching magazine, issue 180, and it's a scissor roll, which I've never made before, and as you can see, I still haven't finished it. I would like to, so we'll see if we can get to that. That's always, every year I say, oh, I want to focus on finishes, and every year I don't really do it. This is stitched on 28 count platinum Lugana with DMC and Classic Colorworks, which is the border, Classic Colorworks. And one of them really pops out because I ran out, and the new one is a different colorway. And I'm not bothered by it because it's an antique looking design and it's for me. It was more important that I finish it rather than unpick it all. I wasn't doing that. And no. And normally the Libran in me would go, oh no, that has to match. You have to unpick that. And if it was being framed, I would. And if it was a gift, I definitely would. But this is for me. And if I get it finished, it's going to get used and it's going to get dirty. And in the end, this won't look as bright, and it's cream. I know it looks white, but it's like a cream. It's not going to look bright and clean like that for long. So now I'm attending regular stitching retreats here in Adelaide. Yay! Thanks to my friend Kelly, who is a wonderful organizer. I can make this and take it along. So I need to get onto that. Yes. Now, I wanted to say I started this 14th of June 2019, and the story behind that is after I stopped stitching in 2016 due to major life events, this was the one piece that called to me when I was looking in a magazine and brought me back into the stitching world, because I just loved this. The little filigree scissors, the little bobbins. I was like, oh, that is so cute. And I have never seen anything like that before. So this was the piece that brought me back. And I finally finished it on the 17th of February, and I can't tell you how many days because I didn't write that down. I'd have to go back through all my Instagram, and I don't even know that I recorded it too much because, as I said, I was just getting back into stitching. But anyway, I'm going to leave this one out because I really want to finish this. I'm not going to roll it up and put it away in the drawer because out of sight is out of mind. And that's where all my finishes go. They go in a drawer and then I forget about them. And I look back and I go, oh, I said I was going to frame that and I didn't. So try and do better next year. Try and do better. All right, my next finish was finish number 7. Oh, it's behind me. Running out of room here because reorganizing my room. Goodbye, craft room. Hello, grandchildren's bedroom / craft room. Okay, finish number 7 is Spring from Seasonal Celebrations by Country Cottage Needleworks. This is stitched on 32 count latte Belfast linen. This has not been washed. Look, you can see the Q-snap line. Has not been washed and won't be because it has Gentle Arts sampler threads in there and DMC as well. So all the green is Gentle Arts. I started this one 25th of July 2023 and finished it on 25th of March 24. Total of 7 days, which is pretty good. Very happy with that. And now I've got the full set. It was important for me to finish that because I like to complete things. I'll quickly show you the others. So that's spring. And then we've got winter. Winter's my favourite, as you know. I'm a winter girl. Love that. Autumn. Autumn's nice too. They're all nice. I like them all. Country Cottage Needleworks have great designs. And summer. So I had, when I started summer, I knew there was 4 in the set. I cut my pieces into 4 and I waited. I waited all this time. In 2016, that one was done. 2016, I think all of them were. Yes, they all were, except this last one. So it's been waiting. 6, what am I talking about? 8 years. 8 years to join its family. Wow. Now it has a family, and now I need to finish those. And my plan for these is flat fold, stand up flat fold, Vonna's tutorial, because Vonna's awesome. And she shows us how to do all these wonderful finishes. I love her. Love you, Vonna. Okay, she doesn't watch my videos. I'm sure she doesn't. She's a very busy lady. So many floss tubers out there. All right, next finish. This is finish number 10. I love this one too. And I'm going to need to put something behind this. And I didn't plan for that. And do I have anything big enough? All right, bear with me just a moment. All right, we're going to put this behind here. Does that work? No, it doesn't work because you can see the fabric behind it. All right, I've been getting out stuff ready to sell. My goodness. Hang on a sec. All right, will this work? I've got a piece of paper with some writing on it. I just have to move down. All right, so this is Garden Carp by Our Forest Embroidery. Look, my paper's not big enough. And this fabric is horrible. I have to say it. It's horrible. Oh, look, it's not that bad behind the paper. All right, this is my very first Our Forest Embroidery stitch. And I did this one, oh, it's big, in memory of my trip to Bali that I did with my partner. And because the carp, well, they call it carp, I call it koi fish, reminds me of that trip, because this sort of like looks like one of the Balinese temples, and then they had these trees at one of the, I can't remember the name of it, one of the sites we went to visit, and we saw lotus flowers in ponds there, and like everything about this just reminded me about Bali. So I guess it would suit any Asian country really, but anyway, I'm rambling. So this is stitched on 28 count water lily Weichelt linen. This is horrible. It's like Hessian. It's really stiff. See, hence the roll. Look at that. It's stitch in, full cross stitch and satin stitch. This is my first time ever doing satin stitch. So you can see it all on the temple, on these bushes, and the lotus flowers. Look at that. That's so pretty. I really enjoyed doing the satin stitch. Something different, a lot of fun. My arms are getting sore. I started this 29th of March 2024 and finished on the 25th of May. 16 days. That's all that took. That's pretty good. I'm really happy with that. And of course, my favourite part is those fish. Look at them. Look at them. How well charted are they? Colours just, and the size, how they dominate the design. Love it. Another one that I said I would get framed, hanging up, and it's still not framed, not hanging up. I need more time in my life. It's so nice doing these finish parades and seeing all these finishes again, reliving it. It's lovely. I like it. Okay, let me just roll that up. All right, next is finish number 12 and fully finished object number 8. Ta-da! My 2023 Nutcracker by Shannon Christine Designs. Look at him. He's so cute. This is stitched on 32 count opalescent Belfast linen. This is a stitch along with, and an ongoing stitch along with my friend Kathy, otherwise known as Sunnycat2762 on Instagram. And our stitch along is, I didn't write it down, hashtag Nutcracker X Stitch Sal 2024. Why didn't I write that down? I will put it down here. So long I can't remember it. So I've got this really lovely Nutcracker fabric. I couldn't find something that I liked in shades of pink that was Christmassy and would match. And I said in my previous video, I considered getting it, doing both of my Nutcrackers in this same backing, but Shannon is going to keep making these hopefully forever and ever and ever. And Kathy and I are going to be stitching these forever and ever and ever. I want a whole army of these guys. I love them. They're awesome to stitch up. Look at the beads. Look. Oh, so many beads. And they're not scary looking. Like they got normal mouths. Look at these mouths. See? Normal. They're not scary. They're beautiful. I finished used the tutorial by Vonna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, and I followed her instructions to a T, and that's how he worked. He has drapery weights inside the bottom, so he's not going to fall over. He's nice and sturdy, and he has a ton of fibre fill. He is chunky. So love him so much. So I started this design 14th of July 24 and finished on the 26th of July 24. So 10 days, that's all he took. Not long, but I was stitching like a bit of a maniac, I guess, to get him done. I loved him. I've left about half an inch, I think, all the way around the design. Yeah. And then his brother, no, his brother's not yet. Yes, it is. It's next on the list. What am I doing? I'm losing the plot. This is finished number 14. Is my 2024 Nutcracker by Shannon Christine Designs. Again, 32 count opalescent Belfast linen. Same tutorial. Everything's the same. Different background fabric. I had this left over from my stockings that I made, the Shepherd's Bush stockings. So I decided to use that because the deeper red and the gold just to me matched perfectly, and it didn't look good with the other one. That's why I had to find different fabric. So yeah, my finishing isn't perfect. It's not as perfect as Vonna's. She's amazing, but I love him nonetheless, and I'm going to keep finishing these exactly the same way every year. I'm so proud of the fact that I can put these out now every Christmas. I love them. They're so cute. For someone that didn't have any nutcrackers, now I've got nutcrackers coming out my ears. Nutcrackers everywhere. Because I always found them scary and ugly, and if you look carefully, you can actually find pretty ones. So we'll go with that. That was fully finished object number 9. I don't think I mentioned that. Next one I don't have here, so I'll put up a picture. This is finished number 17 and fully finished object number 2 for 2024. And this is my grandson August's Christmas stocking, otherwise known as Christian's stocking by Shepherd's Bush. Stitched on 28 count natural cashel linen, 2/2. I started this on the 10th of August 24 and finished on the 16th of September. So 8 days. It's pretty good going. They look intimidating, and they're really not. They're lovely designs to stitch. This is my 7th stocking that I have done now, and I finished it with piping around the edges. I fully quilted the back and I lined them. And again, I followed Vonna's tutorial. She has an actual tutorial on finishing the Shepherd's Bush stockings, although she does the big ones, which they're intended to be done on big, like 18 count, whereas mine were done much smaller, so mine were fiddlier to do, but the tutorial still worked. I also followed, I didn't write it down, another lady's tutorial on the quilting, so if I can remember that, I will put her name down below. Very happy with that. I will be doing another stocking in 2025 for another family member, but for now, very, very happy. It was 2 years ago that I made the other 6, and I'd forgotten a lot of the process. Although I had written it down, I didn't understand a lot of my own instructions, and I felt it worthwhile watching the video again. So YouTube is fantastic. You know, anything we want to learn how to do, you go on YouTube and you can just watch it step by step. And Vonna's tutorials, you can't go wrong. She's just to the point, everything you need to know. It's just great. Go check her out if you have not already done so. All right, next finish is, I have this one here. This is finish number 18, and this is Christmas Folk Art Letter A by Joan Elliott. And I have stitched these letters for every member of my family for my own Christmas tree. They're just finished as a little pillow, and I've got a little 2024 tag there. So this is stitched on 14 count white Ada. I started on the 16th of September 24 and finished on the 18th of September 24. And sorry, I was thinking something I didn't say earlier. That took 2 days because there's really nothing to it. This is fully finished object number 4. Oh. Focusing very well. So yes, very happy with that. Nice and easy finish. Next one I don't have with me, so I'll pop up a picture. This is finish number 19 and fully finished object number 3. This is my grandson August's first Christmas ornament. This was designed by myself. I grabbed some inspiration from different cross stitches and just combined them together, chose my own colours. This is stitched on 32 count opalescent Belfast linen. I started it on the 19th of September 24 and finished it on the 19th of September 24, so I actually did it in one day. I did it identical to his sister Hazel's, and although I finished hers as a round ornament, I decided to finish his as a square ornament. So there was some difference between the two. Other than that, the fabric's the same. The cording, the Christmas cording that was pre-bought was the same. The gingham's the same. The green bow is the same. So everything's the same. It's just his is square and hers was round. So it was so lovely seeing both of them on their tree this year together. So, okay, my finish number 20 for 2024 is Christmas Geese Shine Christmas Tree by Elena Elisiva. I hope I haven't botched her name. Stitched on 32 count platinum Lugana. I started this on the 20th of September 2024 and finished it on the 26th of September 2024. So a total of 6 days. And this is fully finished object number 7 for me, which I finished as a pillow, and just the seam at the bottom there. And this has back stitching and French knots, and this is the 3rd in the series that I have stitched and fully finished. And I just love these geese. I think they're adorable. And yeah, so much fun and quick, like 6 days. That's nothing. Stitch up a little Christmas ornament. You know, very cute. My Christmas Smalls basket, I had to buy a bigger basket this year because I already have 3 pillows. This is now 4 and they weren't fitting. So it's gradually growing, which is great. Exactly what I wanted to happen, yes. All right, finish number 21 I do not have with me, so I'll pop a picture here. This was for my granddaughter Hazel. This is Grinch Christmas Bauble by Tatiana Bobosco from mybobbin.com website, and I forgot to mention that this was also mybobbin.com website. The Grinch was my stitch on 16 count white Ada. I chose that fabric because I wanted it to be a certain size. I started on the 27th of September 24 and finished on the 30th of September 24, which is a total of 3 days. And this is fully finished object number 5 for me. And I love this. This is my favorite ornament that I have stitched this year for the tree. I finished it as a round Christmas ornament, and I actually made my own cording from a DMC. I took inspiration from Vonna, who does her own cording, but she has a special tool that she uses, which I have to invest in. So I picked 3 colours that I liked from the design, the light green, the dark green, and the red. And I basically just plaited them and then hot glued them around the edge. And to do that, I started at the bottom. I left a certain amount of the plait at the bottom and went all around the side, made the loop at the top, went down the other side, and then left the exact amount. I got some DMC red and I wrapped it around at the top to secure it, and then I wrapped it around the bottom to secure it, cut them level, unthreaded the plaits, cut it level again, and easy as, just simple. And I just like the way the colours bounce off the design around that cording, and it's really a great idea because you can't always buy cording the colour that you want for your design, so it's really handy to be able to make your own. And if you don't have that special tool, you can find a way around it, but it would be a hell of a lot easier with that tool. So I do want to invest in one of those for next Christmas, and I think I have been saying that for about the last 3 Christmases, so I really need to get onto that. All right, next finish I also don't have with me, so pop it up here. Finish number 23. This is Rocket Santa postage stamp by Wild Violet Cross Stitch. This is stitched on 25 count black Lugana. This was stitched for my granddaughter Hazel because she loves rockets. I started this on the 6th of October 2024 and finished it on the 11th of October 2024. And 5 days of stitching. And I know it doesn't really look it, but there are a lot of stitches in there. It's stitched 1/1 So because I needed it to be small, because these things, they're quite a big design. So I wanted it to be small enough to fit on the Christmas tree. So, and I did it black because I wanted it to pop on the black and look like the rocket was going up at night, like Christmas Eve night, you know. And when I showed Hazel, it was in her Christmas Eve box, and she said, "Oh, it's a rocket," because she loves rockets. And I said, "Who's in the rocket?" And she said, "Daddy." And we all thought that was funny. And I said, "No, it's not Daddy." I said, "It's Santa. Look." And you have to look hard. In fairness, you have to look really hard to see the little bit of red and white inside. And she said, "Oh, it's Santa in the rocket." And I said, "Yes, he's going up to the moon to deliver their Christmas presents." So she loved that. And it was just so nice seeing all my handmade ornaments on the tree. So August had his first Christmas, and Hazel had Rocket Santa, and then they shared the Grinch. So three new ornaments for their tree this year, which was wonderful. And don't know if I mentioned that was fully finished object number 6 for the year. Okay, so that's it for the 2024 finish parade. Now we've got the exciting part to talk about. What am I going to do in 2025? So I'm entering 2025 with 11 current whips. 3 of them are full coverage, and then I have a range of other projects as well. And I didn't plan on starting so many whips. It just happened. I decided that this year I've been buying a few things, and then there were no plans to start them. And this was really hard because I wanted to start all these things, and I actually wanted to start even more, but I had to limit it. I had to draw it back because otherwise it's just getting too crazy. Because I also have to know that I can finish some, because I am a finisher. I like to finish them. And what's the point in starting everything if I can't finish something that will just raise my anxiety? So I have chosen to start 11 new whips. So I'm doubling my current whip total. So there'll be a total of 22 whips. Now, if you look back on the 2024, I actually started 17 new designs. So it's really not that different if you look at it that way. However, I will be changing my 3 full coverage to 7. So I'm adding 4 new full coverage designs into that 3. So that makes me a bit anxious, because we all know how long full coverage take. Anyway, so I'm changing things up this year, and I plan on, previously I was focusing on a project a week and then a different project on the weekends. I can't do that anymore because 22 whips, they all need to be worked on. I love all of them, so nothing's going to be put aside, hopefully. So my plan is to rotate my whips every 3 days. So instead of seeing 4 to 5 whips a month, which has been what was happening in 2024, you should be seeing 9 to 10 whips every month now in my videos. So it'll be more for you to see, be more exciting, more progress, and you'll get to see everything, because I plan on stitching on everything. Now, I also have a stitch goal that I plan on following. Whether I achieve it or not, we'll see. You know, I'm not gonna drive myself crazy over it, but for my full coverages, I am hoping to stitch 1,000 stitches over the 3 days, because most of them are full confetti, like really heavy confetti. So for each night, my goal will be 333 odd stitches to make it to the 1,000 for the 3 days. If I get more, bonus. But that's my minimum that I hope to achieve. And I do think that that's doable based on how much time I get to stitch each night. My other cross stitches anything else that's not full coverage, I hope to get about 500 stitches a night, or 1,500 stitches over the 3 days. That may or may not be possible. Again, some of those are heavy confetti, so that might not work. All I can do is give it a try and see how it works, and then adjust it if need be, or just go with the flow. So that's the plan. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to work on. So we'll start with the current whips. I'm going to show you exactly where I'm up to. So we'll have our starting point for 2025, and I'll tell you how much I stitched on them in 2024. So a bit of both here. All right. First up. Sorry, I'm going to be doing a lot of bending and reaching because there's stuff everywhere. 22 whips is, yeah, a lot to organise. And some of you have a lot more. So we will start with, and these are in no particular order. These are not going to be my stitching order. I have already decided on my stitching order for January, and I'll tell you my January new start when I get to it. So first up, we have Nutcracker Collection. I'll put a picture up here, by Shannon Christine Designs. And this, I started this one on the 5th of December 2024. So this is a newbie. This is where I'm up to. And he is stitched on 32 count opalescent Belfast linen. There are 19,090 stitches in this whole design, and I have, so far I've done 2,248 stitches over 4 days, and I'm currently sitting at 11.78% of the full design. I am hoping that this could be a finish for 2025, because this will be part of the stitch along that I'm doing with Sunnycat2762 on Instagram. We are doing stitch along for all the Shannon Christine Design Nutcracker designs, and this will be one of them. And I'm really looking forward to this one because they're all different shapes and sizes and colors, and just, yeah, it's going to be very, very nice. All right, next whip. You would have seen in my previous video today. However, this time I'm showing the full thing. I'll put up a picture first. This is Up on the Rooftop by Tilton Crafts, also known as Christmas House 1 by Artisy. And I've got lots of dangling threads, so just try and look past that if you can. Doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you. All right, this is the full design so far. Hopefully you can hear me. And I'm going to have to move it out the way so I can read my notes. Okay. So in 2024, I worked on this for a total of 34 days and 15,400 stitches. I am absolutely rapt by that. That is great progress. This is stitched on 18 count white Aida, 2/1 diagonal parking, full crosses, and I'm currently at 40,242 stitches out of 128,775 stitches. So this has been worked on a total of 80 days so far. Started on the 24th of December 2022, and it's at 30.87%. So I'm really looking forward to this next row. This will see the finishing of the roof top with all the snow, and then a very small section of the rooms, but enough to create some excitement on my part. I've got to hold this down. These are so heavy. Some excitement in getting those rooms started, but the confetti will be heavy. I'm up for it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how much more. I like the fact that I've written down how many stitches. I don't usually do this, but I've written down how many stitches I've done in 2024. So 15,400. Let's see if we can improve on that in 2025. I don't imagine I will, because there'll be less time to work on it along with all the other whips, but we'll see. Be interesting little project, see what works, what doesn't work. It's got to change things up, you know, make it more fun. All right, next whip is hidden under my pile. I'll put up a picture here. This is Princess Eliana by Mirabilia. I started this on the 12th of October 2024. And this is where we're at. This lovely fabric, which isn't showing up very well. It's a hand-dyed purple from, did I write that down? Yes, I did. 28 count Ellie, named by myself, from Daisy Chain Stitchery. And I've worked on this 6 days so far. I can't tell you how many stitches, because I've actually just copied this as an Adobe file and put it on my tablet, and I'm marking it off that way, so it doesn't count the stitches for me. I'm not a fan of markup program. I use Pattern Keeper, so just gonna have to roll with it, and it's better than using paper and highlighter for me anyway. So I've also put this down as a possible finish for 2025. That could be a bit optimistic, because she's going to be quite big and there's a lot of beading, but we'll see. We'll see. And that's 2/2, by the way. Full crosses. I always do full crosses unless it's a dimensions kit. Not a fan of the 10 stitch. All right. Next one. Okay. My arms are really sore. This one's going to hurt even more. This is, I'll put up a picture, Fairy Whispers by Lisa Parker, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's stitched on 18 count white Aida, 2/1 diagonal parking. And I started this on the 23rd of March, 2020. And this is my biggest project that I have ever done in my life. And I've done a lot. Like, I'm surprised, really, by how much I've done. All right, I may have to stand up. I'm definitely going to have to stand up. All right. Can we get it all in? Look, even standing up, I can't. I'm going to have to move my chair. Then crash. Right, does that get in? Yes. Okay. That's how much I've done so far. Wow. That's a lot. Can I read my writing from here? This is 200,938 stitches out of 329,000. So I'm currently sitting at 61.08% and 444 days of total stitching. And in 2024, I only managed 12 days of stitching on this, but I did get 3,455 stitches added. That's because I think up on the rooftop took more of a favourite place for me, and this one got pushed aside a little bit. But you know what? I'm over 60% done, 61% done. So need to get cracking on this if I'm ever going to finish it. And I don't want it to be one of these things that takes 10 years. So at a stitch rate of 3 days, I don't know. All right, let me just reorganize here. Oh, excuse the mess behind me. My room is being reorganized into a bedroom, which I probably mentioned earlier. I did mention that on my previous video. It's going to have a stitching corner or end with beds for my grandkids to stay over, because that's more important to me than anything. Alrighty. I feel like I have done a workout. My arms are just aching. These things are heavy. All right, my next whip is Lady Justice. Put up a picture. Lady Justice by Mirabilia. Okay, and she was started on the 23rd of February 2024. And another one, I'm not a fan of this fabric. See how it's all creased already? Like, that's just been rolled up. It's just, I don't like it. 28 count dirty linen in cashel linen. And I've worked on this for 8 days so far. So it's pretty good for 8 days. This is a conversion. I didn't write down the lady's name, I'm sorry. On the Mirabilia Conversions Facebook group. I wasn't a fan of the green in the original design. And when I saw this in the blues and greys, I loved it. I just wish I'd chosen an even weave as opposed to a linen for this. But I started this at the Mirabilia retreat that I went to earlier this year, and thought I would get some fabric there, and there really wasn't what I wanted. So I chose this. I'll still finish it. I don't want to restart it, so I'll finish it. I do like the colour. I'm just not a fan of the thickness of this cashel linen. It's really quite stiff and yuck. And I'm thinking framing it could be a bit of a hassle because of I don't want any creases to show, and it might be a bit of a struggle to get those out. Excuse me while I turn my page. This took ages last night writing all this out. Probably a couple of hours, I reckon. All right, my next current whip is this one, I think. Put up a picture here. This is Boreal Forest by Stitches So Beautiful. This is a no artist design, but she had rights to the image. So this is where we're up to with this one. 18 count white Ada, 2/1 full cross diagonal parking. And in February, in 2024, I stitched on this for 14 days and got a total of 6,986 stitches. So I'm quite happy with that. As a full total, I'm sitting at 10,795 stitches out of 80,000. I forgot to mention I did start this 2nd of October 2023. It's at 13.49% and a total of 21 days. So it's pretty good. And right there where I'm up to is the beginning of the beautiful tree in that design. So there's going to be some nice bright colours about to come into play. And I'm excited for that because these have been a little bit drab. Not boring because more solid colours means I can get a lot more done in an evening. But I'm really looking forward to the bright colours, and that's why I chose to stitch this design. Alrighty. Next whip is behind me. And this is, I'll put up a picture, Mrs. Claus's cookbook. Now this was gifted to me by a lovely friend, Karen Garcia. because she knows I love Christmas and she knows I love Mrs. Claus. And she thought that this would be a lovely gift, and she was right, and I'm very, very appreciative to her. And we're stitching this together. So this is stitched on 2 different fabrics. So there's a fabric for the book cover and different fabric for the pages. And this is my first ever, I feel like I've got a hair on my face, excuse me. This is my first ever like cross stitch book, and I just can't wait to see how it all is going to come together. So this is the book cover that's stitched on the 18 count Aida. So that's all done and complete. So that was 3 stages there. We did the spine and this, and the complete border, and then we did the front page and the back page. And it's nice seeing how people have chosen to make this unique. Some people have back stitched around the words, and some people have changed some colors, and it's just really nice. So far I'm sticking to the plan and not putting any personal input into it, because I'm just loving the process. And yeah, so that's the cover. And then these are, I still have that hair, it's very fine hair. All right, and this is the pages. It's all gridded out. So this is 32 count vintage country mocha linen. And I've got 2 chapters done. So first chapter is reindeer treats. Very cute, very unique. Second chapter is candy cane soup. And I'm just going to leave my gridding in there till I'm done, probably. Yeah, those blue lines that are gridded are for the margins of the book, and it is meant to be that way. So I'm on opposite ends like that. There is back stitching around the pages, and that is, I assume, how the pages get stitched to each other. So just like how you would stitch a pincushion together through the back stitching. Assume that's how it's done. So 6 more of those to go, and then all the finishing instructions. Now this will be a priority stitch for me in 2025, because the each stage has a release date, and they pretty much just like stitch up in a day. So as soon as each stage is released, I plan on stitching it and then getting back to whatever my planned stitching was going to be, so that way I can stay on track and not lag behind, because I want this finished and completed, and it'll more than likely be my first fully finished object for 2025. So now I've said it, I'm going to have to do it. Hopefully I don't have any hiccups in putting it together. It looks like it might be a little bit tricky. I don't know. We'll see. I forgot to mention that design was by Living on the Rainbow, because I didn't write it down. Naughty, naughty me. Living on the Rainbow on Etsy, and she has other little books and all Christmas ornaments and mitten designs. Oh, it's great. Go check her out. Got a few of her items in my new starts. All right. I forgot to mention, all of that so far is 14 days of stitching. So started it on the 3rd of November in 2024. Next whip has not seen love for quite some time, and that makes me very sad. So this is Australia Flag by Vivsters on Etsy. Just making sure I get it the right way around to show you. This is a 2024 Quaker Flag Stitch Along by Davana Lee Design Studio and Wombat Hollow Crafts. And this is where we're at. This is my piece of fabric, which is quite big. You can see how big this flag is going to be. This is 32 count white Murano. And I'm choosing to stitch this 2/2. Started this on Australia Day in 2024, so 26th of January 2024. And I have worked on this 8 days. over the year. So we're at 7,882 stitches out of 45,906 stitches. So this is a big design. This is a small full coverage. So that makes it 17.17%. And as I said, 8 days of stitching so far. I do have this one locked into my calendar for Australia Day weekend this year. So there will definitely be 3 days stitched on this for Australia Day weekend. And Gail from Wombat Hollow Crafts is almost finished her Australia flag, which it looks amazing, absolutely amazing. So it's great seeing them. I know a lot of people got on board this stitch along with their country's flags, and I went a bit nuts and I got 3. So that's flag number 1. I don't know what I was thinking, oh, I can get them done pretty quick. Yeah, not at 45,000 stitches, I can't. All right, this is the next one, and that's not it. Here it is, this one. This is UK flag. I'll put up a picture here to honour my heritage. My mum and dad were born in the UK, and my grandparents too. This one was started on the 23rd of April 2024, and I didn't mention this with the other one. You'll see a random thread at the top. I just put that there so I know where the top of my design is. Because with these, fold them up, put them away, and you get it out and you go, which way's up? So I just leave that in there so I know. This is my big start. Look at that. That's how much I did in 2024. It's pretty dismal, isn't it? It's a pretty pattern. So I'm also doing this on 32 count white Murano, but I'm doing this 1/1 because I wanted my Australia flag to be the big flag and then these to be little flags that sit next to it on the wall, because I'm not going to have room for all of these flags on the wall. So this is 1 day of stitching. That's all I got, 1 day, but I did complete one of the tiles, the Quakers. That's 445 stitches right there. I think so. And this one is even more than the Australia flag, 48,335 stitches. And this is 0.92%. I've got a long way to go. But like I said, that will get worked on along with everything else. So there'll be some progress. Hopefully a decent amount, not make me feel, what am I done? And then the next one is also same designer, same stitch along. I'll put up a picture, Ireland flag, because I also have Irish heritage. And that's how much I got done in 2 days. Didn't even finish the tile. It's a bit harder to see. It's a very pale grey on the white. Again, 32 count Murano, 1/1. So another small flag. This is 288 stitches out of 45,511 stitches, 0.63%. And I started this on the 17th of March, which was St. Patrick's Day in 2024. So at least these have this one has different colours. The UK and the Australia flag all have the same colours, obviously because we both share the Union Jack. But the Ireland flag is nice because it has the orange and the green, which should be nice when I get to those colours. All right, that's my 11 whips. Now you've already seen all those, but at least I've shown you my starting progress. So I'm accountable now. And I've got something to compare to for 2026. So for my 2025 plans, I'm going to be putting up pictures here of the designs that I've chosen. And I'm going to be showing you fabrics here for the fabrics I've got. I've had to purchase a little bit. I haven't had to purchase too much, thankfully. I do have a stash of DMC, plus I recently purchased from a lady who was selling online. I bought a whole stash of DMC from her very cheap, and also a big piece, a massive piece of easy count Lugana, which I've never stitched on in my life. So I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it. So a lot of what I've chosen, I'm using stash. So I kept the cost down, because starting 11 projects doesn't sound cheap, does it? No, but I've managed to use a lot of it with stash, so we're good. All right, let's get going, because otherwise this video is going to go on for 2 hours. My first new start for 2025 is also going to be my new year new start, and the one I'm probably the most excited about. I have loved this from the moment I saw it in August, and I've been non-stop looking at it, and I knew when Stitch is So Beautiful had her 50% off sale recently, had to buy this one. I'll put it up here. This is called Whimsical Fairy by Adrian G. Eyre, and it is charted by Stitches So Beautiful. I just love this. I love the colour palette. I love the fairy, obviously. I love that she's having a tea party. There's just nothing I don't love about this. It seems quite a few people have also purchased this. So this will be a stitch along on Stitches So Beautiful site. If you have purchased anything from Stitches So Beautiful and wish to join along a stitch along, have a look on her Facebook group, because she has set up a number of stitch alongs for her charts for 2025 due to popular demand. Only one of my charts that I've purchased is on there, so I will be definitely joining in on that. And I plan on stitching it with the fabric that I bought from this lovely lady. This is a Zweigart Lugana Easy Count 25 count in grey. It's 1 metre by 140 centimetres, so I can get 2 projects out of this. This is massive. I've never stitched on Easy Count. I don't like gridding. I'm way too impatient, so this will be interesting. I'm going to stitch the design 1/1 and probably finish it as a pillow, which is why I'm doing it in the smaller size. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I really hope those grid lines wash out like they say they do. There's a lot of you have experience with this, so please just put my mind at rest and comment that they will definitely wash out, because there are some light colours in this design and I don't want to see those grey lines. Okay, so that's number 1. Second new start will be Birds on a Wire by X Free Stitch on Etsy. I have a piece of, I thought I had a sky fabric left over from my giraffes, but I must have used it on something else because I can't find it. A sky fabric would have been perfect. Really didn't want to buy any more fabric. So I'm doing boring Lugana, mushroom Lugana, 28 count, but it's from my stash. So didn't have to purchase anything for it. The colours will pop on the Lugana. X Free Stitch site showed how the design would look with various colour fabric backdrops, which I always appreciate that, because I don't have to think about it too much. I can see what I think looks nice and go from there. But I like this design when I saw it. I like the little slogan at the bottom, because, yeah, that's quite relevant. And I think I'd like to finish this maybe as a stand-up cube, something like that, that I will have out all year round to remind me of a little giggle of people that deserve that. Yes, say no more. My next new start is Shh by BDL XXX Stitch Emporium, which is a mouthful. When I saw this, Santa and Mrs. Claus had to have it. I jumped on it. Straight away I bought it. There is another design which is equally as nice, a bit more Christmassy with the holly and everything, but I still like this one. So I'm going to be stitching this. I've got a piece of something. Oh, that's not there anymore. I've changed my mind on that. Sorry while I think aloud. No, I had to buy a piece. I've written from stash, but I'm pretty sure I had to buy a piece of 18 count Ada for this. I'm going to do this 2/1, full crosses, diagonal parking. So yes, there's going to be a lot of Christmas designs. I think you know me by now. I love Christmas. It's going to be Christmas all year. And while I remember it, I did mention a few videos ago that someone was doing Christmas for the entire 2025, and I couldn't remember for the life of me who it was. And it is Gail from Wombat Hollow Crafts. She's decided that she's going to stitch all Christmas designs for 2025. So I'm assuming that means Gail's going to be finished her Australia flag by then. No pressure, Gail. Hopefully you will. If not, I guess maybe a little bit of flag and the rest will be Christmas. But looking forward to seeing all your lovely Christmas designs because I love Christmas. All right, my next new start is up here, the Advent Calendar Ornaments by Doreen Jones. Now, my lovely friend Kelly, who I used to work with, has already started these and they look super cute stitched up. I will tell you off the bat, I do not plan on finishing all 24 by the end of the year, but I will have some finishes and that will keep me happy because I'm a finisher. I need to have some finishes to know I'm achieving something. Just stitching isn't enough for me. I need to finish. So that's why I've chosen, although I've chosen quite a few full coverage that won't get finished for a long time, there are some smaller items that will get finished. So yeah, I'll get a few of those in at least, at the very least, because I think a couple of days of stitching should finish one. They're only small, not complicated, some back stitching, but yeah. So I've purchased a piece of 28 count white opalescent Lugana to do those. I'm pretty sure my friend Kelly is stitching on the same fabric and they just look lovely. A little bit of sparkle to the fabric. I wanted to change it up from the Belfast opalescent, the raw opalescent Belfast linen that I've chosen for all my other cross stitches. I think these will look quite nice on the white and should pop with all the back stitching. Excuse me while I turn my page. Okay, my next new start is another full coverage up here. This is Enchantment in Bloom. This is by the same artist as Whimsical Fairy, which is Adrienne G. Eyre, and it's charted by Stitches So Beautiful. I love this one just as much as I love Whimsical Fairy. I'm aware that they're very similar. They are different colours. They're similar because of the love heart and they both got the fairy inside. And I wanted to buy 3 patterns from her sale. And I tried to look for something else, but I just kept going back to that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So that's also going to get done. Oops, I just dropped everything. On the same gridded fabric. 25 count Lugana easy count, 1/1, and as a pillow is how I would like to finish it. In 10 years time when it gets finished. Okay, my next one, I'm not going to show you a picture, I'm going to show you the real thing. Excuse me while I pick up what I dropped. Okay, my next one I was very excited about. I have wanted this chart for years. It's been out of print for many years and it's probably one of the most highly sought after lavender and lace designs and it's impossible to get. And I saw a lady selling this and I bought it. Lavender and lace firefly fairies. I just love it. Yes. So I've opened it This was brand new, by the way. When I purchased it, it was brand new, untouched. I've gingerly opened it because I want to put it back. I just want to take a working copy and I want to put it back in its original packaging. I have purchased a piece of 28 count dark cobblestone. Is it dark cobblestone? No, just cobblestone linen for that. And the pattern also comes with instructions on how to bleach it to get that, what do they call it? Starburst. That's it. To get that starburst look. So I was thinking about different colour fabrics and hand dyeds and things. And you know what? It needs that starburst because that's the whole point of the design. So I'm really excited to finally have this in my stash and to be stitching it. And I said to myself, I've purchased this now. This has to go on my stitching plans because I've wanted it for so long. What is the point in wanting something and then putting it away? Because in 10 years' time, I might not want to stitch it. I want to stitch it now. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very nervous about doing this starburst thing, but I have read the instructions. They sound pretty simple. And worst case scenario, if I botch it up, I can just bleach the entire piece of fabric and then just buy another piece. Really hope I don't do that. But yes, I was very excited about that and very happy. Okay, my next new start. I've got all these things, but it's just so much easier to show you a picture because my room is a mess. Is Happy Ever After. Pop it up here by Long Dog Samplers. I do have a couple of Long Dog samplers, but I've never stitched them. So this will be my first Long Dog sampler. And I'm going to stitch this one a bit differently. I'm going to do reverse stitching on this. So I've chosen a piece of 28 count white opalescent Lugana, which I've had to purchase. And I'm going to be stitching it with DMC 3809, which is a dark teal. I'm not sure that's the correct DMC name for it, but you get the idea. I love teal. I thought about getting a piece of teal fabric and then stitching white, but I really don't like stitching white, and that much white, I don't think I would enjoy it. So I've decided to do the reverse and stitch the background and leave the white as the opalescent. I'm not sure how it's going to look. I've never done that before, but I'm willing to give it a go. And if it doesn't work, then I'll unpick it. I can use the white for something else and purchase some hand-dyed fabric and maybe do it in a different color other than white. I don't know. I don't like stitching that much white. I just never have. I don't find the white just sits nice for me. Anyway, could probably do anchor white or something, might be better, but I'm looking forward to that. I bought this one and knew when I bought it that was going to be a new start very soon, and I only bought it in 2024, so I'm very happy that I'm going to be starting that. I loved all the wording on it. I love the little story, which I'll discuss when I start it. It's family and love, and it's just all the things that mean so much to me. So my next new start, I'll pop up pictures here of Santa and Mrs. Claus stand-ups by Living on the Rainbow from Etsy. She's the lady who has designed the Mrs. Claus cookbook. So this is 18 count Ada, which I had a piece in my stash. So I got a piece of Ada there. And I didn't get the other fabric out. 32 count dark chocolate Belfast linen, and lo and behold, I actually had a piece of that in my stash. I was keeping it for a Mirabilia design which needed that, but that's not on my list of items that I want to stitch in the very near future. So rather than buy it, I'm just going to cut a little piece off because it's for like Santa's little toy bag. So it's the tiniest little piece. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing those. After having done the Nutcracker stand-ups, I'm excited to finish things as objects now. And that's going to be a focus for 2025, is to actually make things into other things, and have more things that I can lay out as display at Christmas time. Which does remind me, because I do have the Christmas Village series, not all of them, but I was going to stitch those one year and they were very expensive to buy. So I might have to look at those for 2026. All right, my next new start up here is Libra by Charm Studio and charted by Stitches So Beautiful. I am a Libran and I love this. As soon as I saw it, whoa, couldn't have got that into my cart any quicker if I tried. I actually looked at the other star signs and asked my son, because my son is a Aries, if he wanted me to stitch that for his room. He didn't like it. It's really? You didn't like it? No, Mum, don't like it. Okay, that's a shame. I said, it looks very masculine, like the horns, and great. No. Okay, fair enough. So I'm stitching the Libran. I had to purchase a piece of 18 count Aida. Did I have to purchase it? I didn't write it down. Yeah, I think I did. For that deserves to be a big piece. So that's going to be 2/1 full crosses, diagonal parking. But that's not only, did I like the Libra and the style, but the colours spoke to me. The teals, just everything about that I love. So excited for that one. And then my next one is another one by Living on the Rainbow. Pop up a picture here. And this is called Santa House. So this is another ornament series for me for 2025. I love these things. She's got a whole range of Christmas houses like this. I think there's reindeer stables, and I think there's like as like a candy shop. Like, it's all different ones. And I've looked at the instructions and it looks pretty straightforward. I'm putting it together, and it's not a lot of stitching involved, not really, because it's a small thing. It's not like a full coverage project. So I'm excited to do these. This is 18 count Aida from Stash. I've already had a tiniest piece of Aida, so I think I just need some felt. I did have to buy, maybe not for Santa House, but for the other stand-ups, the Santa and Mrs. Claus, I had to buy some whisper threads. Never used that before, so that's going to be a first. So yeah, we'll see how we go with all that. And my other last plan start, here's my fabric, it was here, okay, is Bluey. Bluey is an Australian institution, let's say, that has now travelled well overseas. Everyone loves Bluey. Bluey is a blue heeler dog. And her family, I want to say his family, because I still cannot get the fact that Bluey is a girl into my head. I think it's because she looks just like her dad. And in fact, Hazel's got all the Bluey toys. Not all of them, but she's got a lot of them. And whenever I pick up Bluey, I'm like, is this Bluey or is this Bluey's dad? Because they're the same colour. They look the same. It's just in the ornaments, one's bigger than the other. But if you don't have both in front of you, you don't know which one you've got. She always knows. She actually is a fan of Muffin. She likes Muffin the most. But anyway, who came across it? I came across it. Did I come across it? Yes, that's right. So Stitches So Beautiful had encouraged us to put albums up on her Facebook group, and Valerie at Stitch Is So Beautiful, of all the things we're planning on stitching for next year. And I've done my album, and I was looking at other people's albums, and someone had this Bluey house with all the Bluey characters. And I was like, oh my goodness, Hazel is going to go nuts for that. I have to do it. So I was on a plan to find it. And then I was speaking to my friend Kelly, who I used to work with, and Kelly found it. And it was a stitch along from another Facebook group called Olivia and Lee Studios Sal. And I think it was a stitch along from last year, 2024, I think. Anyway, so it's free. So we joined the group, downloaded it, and we're both starting it. And Helen, my friend Helen in England, hello Helen. I know you're stitching this for your grandchildren too, because Bluey's reached England. I know he's all through America as well. She, Bluey's a she. What's wrong with me? Anyway, I'm going to be stitching this Bluey design on one of the pieces of fabric I got from my prize win from Daisy Chain Stitchery, of this beautiful dark lavender / purple. It doesn't have a colour because it wasn't chosen by me, but Teresa may have given it a name. On here it's number 6 in group 3, so that's all I know. And I really struggled with choosing a fabric for this Bluey because Bluey has a lot of colours, and I wasn't sure, and I just didn't want to do it on a mushroom Lagana and be boring. I know my first thought was a pink because I have a nice pink hand-dyed fabric, but then I decided on this, and I think it will look nice. And possibly as a pillow on Hazel's bed, or a stand-up, or maybe a frame. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see when I finish it. But I'm thinking this will be a possible finish for 2025, because there's not all that much stitching to it. I think it's definitely doable. And there's actually 2. If you're interested in this and you go to that group, be mindful. There are 2 different stitch alongs, like 2 different designs. So there's the first one, which is what Kelly and I are doing, and Helen. And then there's the second design, which are even more Bluey characters. So I'll probably end up doing that as well next year. We'll see. Hazel might just be happy with the characters that she knows, the popular ones. I think the second one is just all additional characters that she might not even know. I don't know. She's only 2. So, yes, that's that. Now, they're the 11 planned things. I've planned them. I've got the fabrics organised. I've got the cottons organised. They haven't been bobbinated or anything. I've still got that to do. However, I have since realised 2025 Nutcracker will be released by Shannon Christine Designs in July. I will definitely be doing that. I've already got the fabric here. Already. 32 count opalescent Belfast linen as per the other 2. That is a definite new start. So that'll be new start number 12. I also want to do another Shepherd's Bush Christmas stocking for my son's girlfriend, Chloe, who is now a member of our family and my future daughter-in-law. So I want to do that for her. So that makes number 13. And then a Christmas ornament each for my grandkids, 14, 15. And then the pillow as a bare minimum. So that's 16. That's 16 new starts. What have I done? Seriously, what have I done? Oh, I don't know. But once these are all kitted up and the rotation is working every 3 days, I think it will be fun. I think I'll enjoy it. I'll be changing things up. I've tried to work everything so that they're spread out. Like I don't want to do a full coverage and then another full coverage and then another full, like I'm splitting it up. So full coverage by something smaller, by an ornament, but you know, doing it like that way. So that was quite strategically placed when I did that. I did work out, this is how I had to justify starting so many new things. I had to also figure out, okay, I'm only going to allow myself to start that many things if I know I can finish a certain amount of things. So my possible, this is very, what's the word? I don't know if it's doable. I really don't know. Possible. I use it lightly. Finishes for 2025. 15. That sounds a lot. All right. Mrs. Claus's cookbook. Definitely. It will definitely be finished and hopefully FFO'd. Lady Justice. Hopefully. Princess Eliana. I think that's going to be a real push. I don't think it will be, but if it is, that'll be good. Birds on a Wire. That's tricky because it looks small, but there's a lot of stitches in there and there's a lot of colour changes for each bird. So I'd like to think I can get it done. Bluey, I'm pretty confident Bluey can get done. I don't think there's a lot of stitches. The Christmas stocking for my son's girlfriend. The other ones have taken me about 8 days. So even if I have to focus for a week, put everything else aside to get that done, that'll get done because it's just part of the family. Needs to have a stocking. The Nutcracker collection by Shannon Christine Designs. That's another one that looks like it's possible, but they're quite tricky because once you get started, you realise, wow, there's a lot of stitches in these things. So don't know. The 2025 Nutcracker by Shannon Christine Designs, that's a definite. That has to be done. That will be fully finished as well. That's a definite. Happy Ever After by Long Dog Samplers. Maybe. I don't know. Again, a lot of stitches in there. Santa and Mrs. Claus stand-ups, they should both be done. I counted them as one start. Technically, that's 2. So that makes 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, hang on. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 new starts if I include Mrs. Claus. But they're little, not much stitching, and they should be fully finished. Same as Santa's house. That should be a definite, should be fully finished, not a lot of stitching, so we're good there. Individual advent calendar ornaments, as I said, I will not be finishing all 24 unless by some miracle I go nuts and decide, oh, I can do them all. There will definitely be some. And whether I just wait until I've done them all and then finish them all, or it would be more sensible to fully finish them as I finish them. That would be more sensible. I'm not always sensible. We'll see. And then my grandkids' ornaments. That's a definite. I haven't even decided what ones I'm doing. I will wait until probably July to start working that out. But that's a definite. So there's some definites there. Some that will be a real, maybes, and then some that will be a real push. And I'm not going to push myself because it's all about the fun. It's all about the fun and the process. And I'm excited. I've never had this many new starts planned. I have had this many new starts and more in a year, but they weren't planned. I've just, as the year's gone, I'll start this and I'll start this. This is big for me to do this. And there's such a varied array of things. That's what excites me the most because I like stitching different things, different colors, different fabrics, different fabric counts. There's a bit of everything in there for me and I'm really looking forward to that. So let's see how we go. So one last thing I want to show you. because I'm hoping everyone's going to watch this video. And I meant to show this on my previous video. Look what my wonderful partner made for me. He has a 3D printer. First off, I requested these. I requested a, get it around the right way, 3-inch and 2-inch, which was the right way, squares. They're made out of plastic. And these are for where I start on my fabric, for my full coverages only. Everything else I like to start in the middle and work my way out. For my full coverages, I always start in the top left corner. And depending on whether I allow for a 3-inch border or a 2-inch border, I usually prefer 3. The only time I'll ever go with 2 is if I want to use an existing piece of fabric instead of buying a new piece, and 2 inches will fit. I won't go less than 2 for framing reasons, but this means I can just put this in the corner of my fabric. So imagine that's the corner of my fabric, from my fabric's going that way, and I know right here is where I start. And I'll have a 3-inch border all the way around. Likewise, with the 2-inch, this is the corner of the fabric. Let me hold up a piece of fabric so you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do know what I'm talking about, but you know. Here we go. Imagine this is my full coverage. Hey, wouldn't that be nice? Full coverage was that small. All right. I'm going to put this in the corner. And right here is where I start stitching. And I've got my 2 inches all the way around. So I used to always get measuring tape out. Measuring tape, measure it 3 times, put a pin, measure it again, measure it again, measure it again. Make sure it all fits. Don't have to anymore. I've got these. Awesome. Love them. I know you can purchase these as in wooden pieces, but he does these for me for free, so I don't have to purchase them. Excellent. But that's not the thing I'm excited about. Excuse me, there's a hair on this. Don't want to show it with hair on. He made me this. I gave him a picture. I gave him some measurements and told him what I wanted to use it for, and the rest was up to him. And he personalised this for me. So this is a stitching, I'm going to call it my stitching tray. He knows I love giraffes, so he put a giraffe in there, and a needle and love heart. He personalised it, the Flosstube stitcher. This is all done on plastic, like, all right. And then you're all wondering what this box is for. What is it covering? You take this is just a lid. Keep the dust out. Oh! That wasn't supposed to happen. It does come out. I knew it came out. I just was holding it wrong. Okay. Hold on to it this time. So this is for my bobbins to go in. I did want foam, but he said I can make it out of plastic, and it can all fit in there. And he said if you don't like it, you can take it out and you can get a foam insert put in. So we're going with this for now because I haven't used it yet. But I am planning on taking this along to my stitching retreats because I can put my scissors and needles and stuff in there. I'll put my bobbins in here. This is only for small projects, mind you. There's only 24 slots here. And then when I'm ready to go home, the lid on protects it all. I love it. And I especially love how he put my name on there. Isn't he so sweet? He's always asking me what cross-stitch stuff I want made, and I just can't think of any things. But that's amazing. I love it. I love it. So sturdy. As you saw, I just dropped it. Nothing happened. Don't tell him I did that. Yeah, gorgeous. Anyway, just wanted to show that off because that's very precious to me. All right, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed everything you saw. Hope you join along in my craziness in 2025. If there's something that I didn't mention and you would like information on, please comment below and I will try and get back to you as quick as I can. I also have received my extra charts that I ordered for the giveaway. That I have them now, so I need to get that organised. I'll probably do that once the new year starts, and so look out for that on Instagram. And I'm going to leave it for now. So we'll see how we go. In 2025. So I wish you all a very happy new year. Stay safe, stay healthy. I hope you get to spend it with your loved ones. It's a crazy world we live in now, so please be safe. That's my number one thing for 2025. Just want everyone to be safe and healthy and well. And don't drink too much. You've got stitching to do. Don't want to do it with a hangover, okay? I don't plan on drinking. I don't know what I'm doing New Year's Eve. Hopefully some stitching, but I'll definitely be stitching New Year's Day. Whimsical fairy. Look out for it. All right, that's enough for me. This is going to be a super long video. I'm very sorry, but some of you like those, so I hope you had a good time. I hope you liked everything I showed, and hopefully I've inspired some of you. That's what I'm about. I like to inspire people. I like to see that you've wanted to start something that I've liked as well. It's nice. All right, thank you so much. Thank you all for your support in 2024. Appreciate all your likes and comments and everything. It's just so wonderful being part of this community again. Yeah, I love it. There's nothing better in this world than the stitching community. You're all wonderful people. Love you all. Oh, I'm tearing up. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great 2025. See you all in the new year. Bye for now.